Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we're going to look at my friend's Danny's Korvold deck. His Korvold deck is, in my opinion, substantially better than mine. I'm having trouble remembering the number I did Korvold. Don't bother going back and watching it. This one is better. Watch this one. So the idea with Korvold is we've got this dragon, 4/4 flyer for 5. I mean, back in the day that was good enough, but it enters the battlefield or attacks. You have to sacrifice another permanent. So this dragon's going to eat something whenever it does, it comes or attacks. But whenever you sack a permanent, you put a 1/1 counter on Corvold and draw a card, because, everything's better when you tack on draw a card. Now, no surprise, Corvold is powerful. However, I think Danny has taken it to the extreme here, and I really love what he's done with it. Where to start? I guess we'll start normally with the ramp. And I love the kind of ramp that he's using, because stuff like Secure Tribe Elder, these are things that you sacrifice, so it's going to throw a counter on Corvold. Solemn Simulacrum, Burnished Heart, Veteran Explorer, all things that are they sacrifice. Well, Veteran Explorer says dies, but odds are he's going to sacrifice the Veteran Explorer to either the Phyrexian altar or Ashnod's altar. Stuff's getting sacrificed, right? Now, we'll come back to the two altars here in a minute, because it's genius. Obviously, you want them in there so you can sacrifice things to get more counters. But what he sacrifices, I haven't seen this done with Corvold yet. So anyway, back to mana fixing. Birds of Paradise, Thought Vessel, Arcane Signet, Cultivate, Lotus Cobra, Explosive Vegetation. I'm counting Dryad of the Elysian Grove because you get to play an additional land, which is really, really good. And the Mox Amber. Legendary Creatures and Walkers. Of that, there is no short supply. Now, what are we sacking? Here is the beautiful concept. Act of Treason. This is where the red, a lot of the red part comes in. He don't want to sacrifice his own stuff, so he'll steal yours and sack it. Act of Treason, Zealous Conscripts, Traitorous Instinct, Eldrazi Obligator, Wrangle, Goat Nap, yes, folks, Goat Nap, and the Crow in War, which is absolutely outstanding. Corvold is kind of awesome enough, but when you can, when I can sacrifice your things, and also, he's got his own, squee. Oh, yeah. Okay. He'll just come back. The other squee. Boy, those two art styles look wildly different, don't they? The Ramanop Excavator is going to let you play land cards from your graveyard. Why do you want to play land cards from your graveyard? Because he's got some, land cards you might want to actually play from your graveyard. Stuff that will naturally go there, like Wasteland, or Bloodstained Mire, Verdant Catacombs, Myriad Landscape, or maybe just the rest of your lands when you scape shift. That is a whole ton of counters to put on Corvold. Maybe you just drew the one crop rotation because you needed your Maze of Ith for that one creature. Of course, since we're sacrificing, I lose, you lose, just like that. And then the Dictate of Erebos. Sure, like I said, we want to play land cards in the graveyard. Crucible of the World is the way to do it. Get Rock Monster's also a pretty good way to do it. And it's a great card. This is the... Man, the frog is amazing. I love the frog. Corvold deals him +1/+1 counters. The doubling season is, that's kind of what it was designed to do. Let's see. The Ozolith, another good, because, Corvold gets big. He develops a target on him. That's if you haven't already gotten your Whisper Silk Cloak, or let's check out the other equipment here. Whisper Silk Cloak's going to protect it. Dark Steel Plate, Lightning Greaves, just to keep Corvold safe. And in Whisper Silk's case, unblockable. Now, Shadow's Fear is a good one. Just simply, because your opponents lose hexproof and indestructible. Losing that hexproof is good because you saw there a lot of cards devoted to Mr. Steal Your Girl, and if they have hexproof, that kind of hurts. Vincer's Journal's a great card to pad that life total. We have Masaryk. Whenever a player sacks a permanent, a player put a 1/1 counter on your team. This is so amazing in Corvold. Generator Servant. It's actually really good because you can play Corvold and swing with Corvold the same turn, or anything else, but you're just about guaranteed to have Corvold. Spore Frog. And this is a beautiful, shiny Spore Frog. It's hard to tell the shiny because he's using the matte sleeves, which I love these sleeves, by the way. Is that not perfect? Anyway, Moss Viper. People don't like to swing into 1/1 Death Touchers. I have seen this. I have been on the other side of this deck. I haven't played it, but I have been on the other side of it. And that 1/1 Death Touch out there will cause me to look at somebody else when I'm trying to get in those early nudges of damage. Reanimate's just going to bring back whatever we have lost. Demonic Tutor. Yeah, that's a beautiful card. And Bonus Hunger. I love Bonus Hunger, Each opponent sacks half their stuff. That's probably a real thing. Who else makes you sacrifice? Liliana of the Veil, and that is also shiny. Oh, man. He's a lot like me in the fact that we love our foil cards. Olivia, see if I can pronounce it correctly. Olivia. Yeah, I have no faith that I can pronounce that last name. Now, y'all know I am super partial to this card. I have won games of Magic where this is the only card I've cast. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have too. It's just amazing. This kind of goes in line with the I'm stealing your stuff. Now, just to steal something to sacrifice it is, 7 mana. But you know what? It's repeatable. And you ain't got to sack it. You can just beat them over the head with whatever you stole. It's Olivia's so good. What's the rest of this unnamed category? Sure, we'll say Fog, because nobody sees it coming and people overcommit to an attack. Tainted Remedy. One of the number 1 cards I forget is out on the board until I'm like, well, I'll just gain 10 life. Oh, no, I won't. Bitter Blossom. That gives you a steady stream of creatures to sacrifice. It's beautiful. Darkness, the Black Fog. Nobody really sees this one coming. Eternal Witness to get back whatever it is that you may want to. Vampiric Tutor. Now, Carpet of Flowers is a nice choice because typically people that play blue, and there's a lot of islands. I like Carpet of Flowers, Danny. That's a nice pick. Ren and 6, because why not? This is the first time I've ever actually touched this card. Let's see. Return up to 1 land from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. I see why it's in here. You get an emblem with instant sorcery cards in your graveyard have retrace. What? Wow. Yeah, this is kind of one of those modern cards that hasn't really, because I don't think I even bought any of that set, but it hasn't existed in my world until this moment. Wow. So, as far as the card, but I love the story behind the character here. Ren is the actual person, and 6 is the tree. That is his 6th host. I don't know if he drains the life or what, but there's so many possibilities there that they could do Ren and 7 or go back and show us the first 5. I mean, who knew? Removal, sweet removal package, by the way. I say that the whole deck is pretty much a removal package. Acidic Slime, Assassin's Trophy, Putrefy, Tribute to the Wild. Oh, that's so good. Return to Nature, and Extinction Event. I like that. Now we are to our non-basic lands, which there's not a lot of. Danny loves his basic lands, which is awesome. Basic lands, I mean, they're basic, but come on. They come into play untapped, and that's hard to replace. Temple of Malady, Jungle Hollow, Temple of Abandon, Rugged Highlands, Luxury Suite, Game Trail, Woodland Cemetery, and a Reliquary Tower. And then, of course, all foil basics, because that's how he rolls. But that is Danny's Corvold deck. I have played against it a million times, and it's definitely one of those decks that you look around and oh, he played Corvold, and then the next round of the table, Corvold's swinging for like 15, and you're like, hold on, what just happened? So, but yes, it is one heck of a deck, and sometimes I don't even know how I stay alive with decks at the table like this, but I managed to. The biggest asset that I have, because y'all have seen most of my decks, I build for fun. I don't build for power. I mean, occasionally there's one or two, but the biggest asset that I have at the table is the other players at the table. I mean, that helps me more than anything else, because this is an amazing deck. Do I need to list this? Because I know he's not going to list it. Tell you what, I'm not going to list it. If you care about seeing an actual list, holler at me, and if it merits the response, then I can list it on my Architect channel. I just won't add it to my inventory. But anyway, I do appreciate y'all watching, and Danny, thank you for letting me review your deck. One thing that he really likes, though, and by the way, feel free to do this on anything that I do, but he likes suggestions. If y'all have got any suggestions to tune it or to make it better or whatever, put them in the comments down below. He's watching. So am I. Because, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, liking, subscribing, following, all the good stuff. And we're going to shuffle and cut.